Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we have concluded today's hearing in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, and the crowning glory of it was that he put up a very good defense of himself, even though he was concentrating on the objections raised to the jurisdiction of the court. On that note, the court adjourned for further hearing to 7th of November, when the court expects that he will enter his full defense. Well, having said that, I know a lot of people have raised questions and eyebrows about the propriety of Nnamdi Kanu representing himself. It is his decision to make. He has the right under the Constitution to defend himself, and this case being politically charged, I think the idea or the notion that this is a normal criminal case has to be dispensed with. This is a normal criminal case at all. If you want to understand the complexity of this case and the true political dimensions to it, you think of the case of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, or Bafemi Awolowo, Mahatma Gandhi. These cases were all politically tinged cases masquerading as criminal prosecutions. And these great men I mentioned, at some point in their struggle, at some point in their travail imposed on them by the state, they took the podium and defended themselves. So a politically charged case often comes with some unusual dimensions like this. So, because, why? The reason is simple. Lawyers are restricted to very narrow wiggle room when they are doing a case. And that narrow wiggle room can be inimical, can be prejudicial to the interest of the client when the case has a political dimension to it. That thing needs to be out there. That limitation we have is not expected of the defendant himself. So a lot of times, the defendant himself will make the best defense of his case at that very point in time. That does not obviate the fact that the presence of a lawyer in a case is always better. But in certain circumstances, there are exceptions, and the exception is, this one is one of the major exceptions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my Lord has adjourned the matter to 7th of July, 7th of November, for the Mazi to open his defense, or he will foreclose his right of defense. So we are going back to the drawing board, go back to office, look at it, and offer our advice as consultants. But having said that, the issue of talking to the press also came up, and we said no. Right to address the press is a fundamental right, because once we fail to address the press and tell the press the real position of things, they may go about report, especially those of them who don't have the opportunity of coming inside the court. They may go and report another thing. So the court say that we have a right to exercise to address the press, which even the prosecution has confirmed. But he said that we should do it in line with the law, just like as I'm doing it now. I just reported what happened in court, not prejudicing what is happening right now, what is going to happen. And I believe that just like every other person, we are calling Mr. President
has just escaped what many are calling a judicial hammer. But the warning from the judge is loud and clear. Put up a good defense or surrender your case. You see, this latest court development has everyone talking. The judge didn't strike out his case. He didn't discharge him either. Instead, he gave him one final lifeline. And that lifeline is simple. Come prepared, defend yourself properly, or the court will move on without you. Now, before we go deeper into what that means and why it's shaking the country, please make sure you like this video right now, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. Because this story, this one, is getting hotter than ever. So let's break it down. The case has been going on for a long time. The government has closed its side. They've presented their evidence. And now, the judge is saying to Kanu and his legal team, It's your turn. The defense must come forward, call witnesses, or make their written argument. But here's where the drama comes in. Kanu's lawyers are still insisting that the entire charge is invalid. They say the law used against him no longer exists. The judge, however, says that's not the point right now. What matters is that the case must move forward. And this is where it gets interesting. This whole situation is like standing at a crossroads. One road leads to defense, the other leads to judgment. And whichever road is taken next will decide everything. So if you're following the Kanu trial, this moment is the turning point. But what does this mean for him? And what does it mean for Nigeria as a whole? Stay with me and don't forget to like this video if you believe in fairness and justice for all. Now, let's talk about what happened in court that day. Reports say the judge gave clear instructions. Kanu should come ready at the next sitting to begin his defense. No more delay. The prosecution had done their part. Now it's time for the other side to speak. But his lawyer, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, said something very powerful afterwards. He said that the outcome was a small relief, because at least the court didn't foreclose his right to defend himself. In simple terms, the door is still open. Kanu still has a chance to speak, but the time is short. And you know what that means? It means the pressure is back on. The world is watching. People from the southeast are watching closely, and Nigerians everywhere are asking one question. Will Kanu finally defend himself, or will this case take another surprising turn? If you're watching this now, tell me in the comments. What do you think Kanu should do next? And while you're dropping your thoughts, click the like button and subscribe so that you won't miss the next update after the next court sitting. Now, I want us to look deeper at the bigger picture. This case is no longer just a legal issue. It's emotional, political, and symbolic. Kanu's trial has lasted for years, and many believe it's more than what's written on paper. It has become a symbol of regional frustration, of justice, and of how power and law work in our country. When the judge says, defend yourself, that message is not only to Kanu, it's a message to everyone watching that justice must not stay stagnant. But others are asking, can justice really be fair when emotions are this high? You see, that's the heart of this gist. On one hand, the court wants progress. On the other, people want fairness. And somewhere in the middle is Kanu, a man who says he's been tried under a bad law and a government saying he must answer for his actions. Let's take a moment here. If you're still watching, thank you. That means you care about the truth. Please like this video right now, share it, and tell your friends to subscribe, because this channel brings you what's really going on in plain, clear English. Now back to the story. As things stand, the next hearing is expected to be the key one. That's where Kanu's legal team must show up, ready to defend. If they do, then we will finally hear their side fully. If they don't, the court might close the case and move straight to judgment. That's why people are saying this is his last chance. And let's not forget the emotion in the air. Every time this trial comes up, you can feel the tension. Supporters want him free, the government wants closure, and the court wants to move forward. So you can see, no matter how it goes, it's a big moment for the country. What's also interesting is how this whole story connects to Nigeria's image before the world. many human rights observers are watching how the judiciary handles this case. They want to see if our system can truly be independent and fair, even when emotions are strong. And that's something that affects all of us, because when justice is fair for one, it can be fair for all. Let me ask you this. Do you think Kanu's case should continue in court, or do you believe it's time for a political solution? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to hear what you think, and your opinion might even appear in our next video. Before I continue, please smash that like button, because when you engage, it helps more people see this video, and that way, we keep the conversation alive. Now, back to Aloy Ejimakor. After the hearing, he told reporters that Kanu has no fear of defending himself, but that the legal technicalities must be addressed properly. He said the team is confident and ready, but they just want the process to be lawful. That's fair, right? Everyone deserves a chance to be heard under a proper legal ground. And you know what? That's something we should all agree on. Fair hearing. No matter who is involved, the law must be the same for everyone. So what happens next? If Kanu's team opens their defense, we'll start seeing witnesses, evidence, and serious legal fireworks. But if they delay again, the judge may not wait anymore. That's why this stage is critical. If you're still watching, I want to thank you personally. You're the reason I bring these updates in plain, clear English, so that everyone, everywhere, can understand what's going on. Please subscribe right now if you haven't already, because in the next video, I'll be breaking down the possible outcomes of the next hearing and what it means for the Southeast, for peace, and for Nigeria's unity as a whole. So let's recap. Kanu escapes the judicial hammer. For now, the judge says, put up your defense or surrender the case. His lawyer, Ejimakor, says they're ready but want fairness. The nation waits, the court prepares, and the people are watching. This is one story that is far from over. The next court session will decide whether this long legal drama continues or begins to close. So tell me, do you want me to continue the gist and talk about the 3 possible outcomes of the next hearing? If you want me to continue, just type "continue the gist" in the comments right now. And as you do, like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe so you don't miss part 2.